Here's our haircut inspired by Berlin, cut by Marco. Begin by creating that square zone on the top of the head, using the recession point as a guideline on where to start your sectioning. You're going to create that square zone on top of the head. Each side of your square zone is going to be slightly curved to work with the roundness of the head. This will come into play later in the haircut. Using the corners of your square zone, take another triangular zone in the crown and clip away. This will incorporate that crown area of the head. Make sure it's clipped away nice and clean. Next, divide the hair from front to back. Starting on the left side, you're going to take a horizontal diagonal back section. Groom the hair down. Your fingers are going to be parallel to your section, and you're going to point cut your line. Now, being that this is a horizontal diagonal back section, you are creating a rounded feel to the haircut. Using a low elevation, just make sure that you create that low graduated effect with a soft point cut outline. Once you've gotten through that area in front of the ear, move to just behind the ear. Behind the ear, you're going to work more of a vertical diagonal back section because you are dealing with more hair. Use some of the previously cut hair as your guide, and you're going to create a graduated cutting line in the back of the head. This is going to help build up a little bit of weight. It's also going to help complement the roundness of the head and the natural bone structure of our model. So once again, point cutting your outline, just make sure that the outline remains soft and loose and has a lot of styling opportunities with the end look. Taking parallel sections, still working that vertical diagonal back. Using a low elevation, but also slightly higher than that zone in front of the ear. Just helps to build up a little bit of weight through the shape so that we do get that graduated effect. As you can see, the front should connect to the back. Moving to the opposite side, take a horizontal diagonal back section. Fingers are parallel to your cutting line. So once again, you are cutting that rounded feel. Using the features of your model as a guideline on your choice of length. Super important to make sure that the end result is suitable. Continuing to take those horizontal diagonal back sections and working parallel to your section, point cutting your line to make sure that it remains soft. Last section coming down here, still point cutting about finger thick elevation. That means one finger is touching the face so that you keep that consistent and low. Moving to just behind the ear, you're going to repeat the same thing you did on the other side, working more of a vertical diagonal back section now. Using some of the previously cut hair as a guide, cutting that graduated cutting line. Working parallel, working neat, making sure that I have consistent elevation and over direction so that both sides are consistent. As you can see, point cutting that line. Using the ring finger on the hand holding the hair really gives you a good platform as far as point cutting and making sure it's consistent. And then also using the pinky to stabilize on the neck. Front to back, we have consistency, connection. Now drop down that triangular zone in the crown and take a vertical section. Elevate the hair high and point cut your shape using the roundness of the head as a reference. Continue taking vertical sections and over direct each section to section number 1. Every section is going to be combed all the way to the center of that zone. Point cutting your lines, still keeping it soft on the interior as well. Now move to the other side and you're going to repeat the same process. Moving your body to the other side will make sure that your grooming and your combing is consistent so that you can still continue to comb the hair towards you. Now move to that square zone on the top of the head. Once again, a vertical section from the crown to the front hairline. Elevate the hair high. Point cut a line that is shorter towards the crown and longer towards the front hairline. Continue taking parallel sections, combing the hair towards you. Going to elevate the hair high. Point cut something that is shorter on the interior, longer on the exterior. So as you can see, the cutting line is going short to long. Shorter in the crown, longer towards the front. As you can see towards the front, based on hair history, you will see some of the previously cut hair from a previous haircut drop out of this section and not get cut. Now move your body to the opposite side of the head and continue and repeat the same process you did on the first side. Cutting short to long. Now in the fringe area, you're going to create a triangular section that will serve as our fringe on our model. Divide that section in half, clip half away. Use a low elevation just past the eyebrow and cut a horizontal flat cutting line. This area you are cutting blunt. We made the decision to cut it blunt so that we do have a bit of strength towards the front. Drop down the remaining portion of the fringe. Comb to the same elevation, the same over direction, and cut blunt. As you can see, it leaves a nice strong shape. Looks really nice. Blow dry using a 413, quite loose, allow some of the natural texture to come through. You're going to personalize and refine and point cut as needed towards that front area where we did maintain a lot of that weight. We may need to go through and point cut to create a little bit of space and softness. A lot of point cutting and personalizing is such a visual thing. As you pick up vertical sections, you will notice certain areas have more weight, maybe certain areas have more history, so some areas of your haircut may need more attention than others. So point cut as needed, working vertically to make sure that you create softness, space, and texture in the end result. In the fringe, you can point cut a bit as well if you feel like you need to loosen it up. Using a bit of Awapui Wild Ginger Shine Spray, you're able to create a nice finish on the hair. To really set in the look, you're going to use Awapui Wild Ginger Finishing Spray. As needed, dress and place the hair around the face. And wow, what a transformation. Our haircut inspired by Berlin. Beautiful end result.